Okay, today's lesson is on the Pythagorean theorem, and this is what we spent some time today in class starting to prove, although we didn't finish proving it. We're going to learn about how to use the Pythagorean theorem. So the Pythagorean theorem is used to find missing side lengths of right triangles. They must be right triangles. You cannot use the Pythagorean theorem with an acute triangle or an obtuse triangle. It has to be a right triangle. So the Pythagorean theorem says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Hopefully you've seen that before. And if we look at a picture of a triangle, A and B are the two sides that make up the right angle, and C is the side opposite of the right angle. We have specific names for A and B. A and B are called the legs. C is the hypotenuse, so the side opposite of the right angle. We can use the Pythagorean theorem to find the hypotenuse of a triangle. We can also use it to find a leg of a triangle, and we're going to look at how to do that both ways. So we're going to start with this triangle, which the legs are 5 and 7, so we're going to put in 5 for A and square it, put in 7 for B and square it, and that's going to equal C squared, or the hypotenuse squared. 5 squared is 25, 7 squared is 49, that equals C squared, so we add 25 plus 49 and we get 74, and that's what C squared is, but we don't want to. So the 74 represents what C squared is, not just what C is. So we have to figure out what is C. So C squared is 74, so now we have to take the square root of both sides. And the square root of 74, and use your calculators, the square root of 74 is 8.6 approximately. So then C is 8.6 for this triangle. We can also be given the information without a drawing. Same thing, A, B, and we don't know what C is. C still represents the hypotenuse. So again, we're going to put in 5 for A and square it. We're going to put in 4 for B and square it. And then C squared we're going to find. 5 squared is 25. 4 squared is 16. 25 plus 16 is going to be 41. Take the square root of both sides. Again, use your calculator. So I'm going to take the square root of 41, which is 6.4, and that's what C equals. Here are two problems that I'd like you to do tonight and write on a separate sheet of paper and bring to class tomorrow. The first one is a drawing where the legs are 11 and 14 and you have to find the hypotenuse. The second one, the legs are 5 and 10 and you have to find the hypotenuse. So do both of those problems and bring them to class tomorrow. Okay, and as I said in the beginning of the video, sometimes we have the hypotenuse and we have to find a leg. It doesn't matter if we're finding the A or the B. Either one is a leg of the triangle. So it doesn't matter if we substitute the number for the other leg in for A or B, as long as C is always the hypotenuse. So here in this problem, we have 60, that is C, and 51 is either A or B. It doesn't matter. So we're going to substitute that in for B, so I'm going to do A squared plus 51 squared equals 60 squared. Now this one, it looks a lot more difficult. It's really not. It's just one step more. So we don't know what A is, so we're going to call it A squared. We take 51 and square it, again using my calculator, and we get 2,601. 60 squared is going to be 3,600. So now this is an equation, and we've studied these a lot this year. We're going to subtract 2,601 from both sides so that we get A squared all by itself, and we take 3,600 minus 2,601 and we get 999, and then we take the square root of both sides, and the square root of 999 is about 31.6. So then the leg of this triangle is 31.6. Just like when we were finding the hypotenuse, this time we don't know what B is, So we can go ahead and substitute our values in, put in 8 for A, so we have 8 squared plus B squared equals 18 squared. 8 squared is 64 plus B squared equals 18 squared. As I do that in my calculator, is 324. Subtract 64 from both sides. B squared equals 324 minus 64, which is 260. Take the square root of both sides. So I take the square root of 260, and I get approximately 16.1. So that's that answer. These are the two problems that I'd like you to find the missing leg for. So the hypotenuse is 8.3. The leg is 5.2. You find this leg, which we'll call A. And then the second problem here, the leg is 6. The missing leg we don't know. And then the hypotenuse is 14. So do those two problems in addition to the previous two and have them ready for class tomorrow. Have a good night.